Hello there. A little spooky to start it off. All right, so Canva is making it easier to create custom images using their just released AI tool called Dream Lab. So let's take a look and talk tech about what you can do with this awesome new tool. Hello and welcome. We have been gifted yet another update from our friends over at Canva. You know, we're big fans around here, even after the little stumble recently. But we're gonna let that go. All right, so they've actually released a bunch of new functionality, but what we're going to talk about here is the new AI tool, which they're calling Dream Lab. So in this video, we're going to talk about what that is and some tips to help you get the most from this new cool option that they've given us. Before we get started, the good part of this is that it is available to free and paid users. Now, the one caveat with the free folks is that you're going to get a limited number of credits to use. If you've played it all in any of the different AI, Chat, GPT, Gemini, whatever, like, you know, there's this credit concept that everybody's using. So you do get to try it out, but you're going to want to stick around. So I don't recommend for the people who are on a free plan, don't start playing around with what I'm going to show you until we get to the part where I'm going to tell you how to maximize those credits that you get, because it is, well, I'll explain. It's a lot, but it'll make sense as we get there, right? So there are some tricks that I've got for you to help you get more, value out of this without burning through your credits, basically. But first, let's back up a little bit, right? What's new? What are we talking about? Why are we here? So for those of you who have been keeping an eye on the AI world, you may have heard that Canva bought Leonardo AI, which is a image generation AI company. And they did that, I don't know, it's like 3-4 months ago when I'm recording this in October 2024. So right around that time. The Dream Lab functionality that they've given us is using that tool that they purchased. And it is a centralized hub for you to create your text to image graphic needs. And it's going to be using all the stuff that Leonardo has available to it. Leonardo is actually going to also be showing up in other places inside of Canva, but we'll get into that in another show because I do have some questions about how that's going to work, specifically around if you're looking to maybe copyright anything or license it, because the waters are a little muddy on AI generated content, including images, and the ability to copyright. But in the tool that we're going to look at tonight, so the new tool that they've given us, the Dream Lab, you can use text to generate content currently in 15 different styles. Now, part of that, they do mention 3D renders. It's not a full 3D render, right? So it's not something that you can generate, and then spin around and see it from all angles. It's that 3D animation look, really. So I think that term might be a little misleading, so I wanted to get that out of the way. But, the various versions of, illustrations and photorealistic and all that kind of good stuff. So you've got some real cool functionality here. You can try a lot of different things. It's also going to, like I mentioned, it's going to be showing up in places like the Magic Studio, Magic Design, Magic Media, the background remover, like more and more of the cool, do it for you kind of stuff that comes in Canva. Is going to be using the Leonardo AI as part of their engine going forward. All right, so let's go ahead and just take a look at the information that they've given us so that everybody's on the same page. As I've been doing things, I've been rearranging things. Okay, good, that worked. Let me get that out of the way. So this is, and of course, all the links are in the descriptions as always. But this is the page that you want to go to get the general update. But this is what I wanted to highlight, right? So Canva Free gets 20 lifetime Dream Lab uses. So that means you can put in up to 20 prompts for free. Now that includes if you put in a prompt and then you want to change or adjust it based on the results you got. So you will burn through them quickly, but I've got a tip to help you get more value out of that. For anybody on the paid accounts, right? Or who's using nonprofit, Canva for Ed, admin teachers, all that kind of stuff. We're all going to get 500 credits, Dream Lab uses, and that is going to refresh every month. So every month you can burn through 500. And this is new when I'm doing this. This literally just came out, I think, just this week. So if you're not seeing it yet, it may not be in your area yet. So just keep checking. But I'm also going to give you a tip in case it's just not showing up in your UI, because you may still be able to access it. So we will get into that. But all of the information is here. You can come through and read all this good stuff. It gives you a little overview, like the limitations. So it is, limited to 4 images. So you put in the prompt, it generates up to 4 images for you at a time. So again, keep that in mind when you're burning through your credits. You want to be careful with that. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. I mean, most of this stuff is pretty basic. We go here right away. Okay, let's go here right away. So this is the other thing to keep in mind. And this is not just for using the Dream Lab tool. This is for using any AI generation tool to create any kind of content. So that's text, images, whatever it is that you're going to create. You want to keep in mind, right, that you can use it for pretty much whatever you want, but it may not be covered by copyright law. And of course, this is going to vary by country. This is going to change over time and all that. But as an example, in the United States right now, amongst the other problems that we have, we are also not, anything that you create using an AI tool is not copyrightable. That's where this stands right now. So only make use of this for things that you're okay not having that kind of coverage on. And, on a case-by-case basis, that may or may not be a big thing for you. But do be aware of it. Do keep it in mind when you are working with these different tools, because for right now, that is where it is, and there's no way around it. There's no hack. There's none of that. It's just, if you use AI, it's not copyrightable at this point in time. All right, we'll keep going here. So, there's moderation around it. There are, limits. They don't want you to do bad things in the tool. And by all means, if you do run into something that is not good, right, unsafe, harmful, right, do get in touch with them. There is a link here that you can use. This is going to a page where you can report, concerns. Do make use of that, because that's how they're going to be able to fix stuff. So this is another, helpful thing. Again, links are all in the description, but, you can use this to, if you are, one of the levels like teams, where you can specify your brands. You can have it make use of your brand colors, all that kind of good stuff. So all of that is in there. Again, this one is definitely worth a read. And most of what is in here applies not just to Canva. It is about all of the AI kind of stuff that's out there. Let's see, what else? Okay, so this is just interesting reading. I just included this for this because it does kind of break it down, especially if you're new to this, like, these are things to keep in mind. Don't use it to create content that's going to mislead anybody. Don't provide medical advice or whatever using it. Don't provide legal or financial advice based on AI. Like, most of this is common sense, but do keep it in mind just to keep yourself and your audience safe, and to just avoid trouble, because who needs it, right? We got enough trouble. We don't need any more. So we're not going to do that to ourselves. But the important thing is, if you're on a free account, you're going to get 20 credits to use. That's it. You can't renew them. They don't come back every month. That's a one and done. Whereas if you're on one of the paid, or if you're in the education version, that is 500 credits a month that do refresh every single month. So that's good news. Alrighty. So I think let's go ahead and take a look at what you're going to be seeing. Now I'm going to show you this in my paid account, and I'm also going to show it to you in a free account that I have so that you can see that other than the credits, there's no difference between the two. So let's start off with my free account. Get this out of the way. So this is what the screen looks like right now. And right now, there's a couple of places where you might see the option. So here, this is the Dream Lab thing right here. There's also one on the side. Now, not everybody is seeing this, but it is coming. So just keep an eye out for it. Now, just for comparison, I'm going to show you my paid account, and you'll see it's exactly the same, right? You've got it up here in your shortcuts, and you've got it over here on the side. So no matter which one you're using, it's available. We'll stay in the free one for the moment. If you are not seeing the option here or over here, what you can do, let me just click here, you can actually just go to the URL, which is canva.com/dream/-lab. And that is in the description, so you can go ahead and get it there. So if you're not seeing the navigation icon from your landing page inside of Canva today, you can try that to see if maybe that might work for you. If none of those work, just be patient. It is coming. It's just not there yet. And this is what it looks like when you come in here. So this up here, you see it says 20, right? I need to move that. Let me zoom this out a little bit. It looks like we're losing some of the page. Hang on one sec. One moment. Let me just zoom that out so you get the whole picture, because that would be important. I kind of need to see the whole thing. This is a big screen thing. Hey, dude, what are you doing? Sorry, my dog was being weird. Alrighty. I have this on a lot of screens. Okay, so I think this is the one I'm trying to change. And okay, I think that will work. Let's give that a try. Nope, I lied. All right, we're going to try again. I'm going to try doing it while it's up here. Do it that way. Okay, that's better. Okay, so you see up here on the right side, right, it says 20. When you click on the upgrade, what it's trying to do is get you to pay for Canva Teams, which is a personal choice. It's up to you. But just so you know, as of this time, you can't buy credits for your free account. So you get the 20 and then they're going to be gone. As opposed to, let's go back to the other view. Okay, so this is my paid account. When I go into it, you'll see here I have 500. So I was testing, I have a third account that I was testing with in order to put the show together. So just so you see, you know, depending on, if you're not sure if you're paid or not, if you see 500, you're on a paid account. If you see 20, you are not. And that's all you're going to get. So just be aware of that. Alrighty. So this is what you're going to see when you get in here, you know, little header. This is the area where you're going to put in your prompt. You can choose between the different views of it, right? So cinematic, creative. I would imagine they might add to this over time, but that's a fairly good list of options here. You also have the option of saying none. So if you're going to specify the style that you want for it inside of your prompt, you can go ahead and say none, and that way it won't override anything that you've said in your prompt. In addition, you can come here and you can choose the size and the orientation of the output you want. So again, depending on what you're doing, what you're going to be using it for, you're going to choose from these different options. Down here, it gives you some samples. So, you know, just some ideas to work off of. And these are really handy because you can take a look at the prompt that was used to create these and then use that as your template to create your prompt, because not everybody is playing in the AI world right now, right? So not everybody's comfortable with the prompts and the process and all that kind of stuff, the best practices. This is one of the ways that Canva is trying to help everybody get on board and make it easy for you to use. So take a look and see what's there. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at one together. So let's look at this cool little hummingbird, right? So you get a little overview of the text here, but you can say use, and it puts all of the text up here. So this is the prompt that generated that image. So you can come in here and you can just modify this, right? So maybe we're going to say tiny, adorable, what? Puppy? You know, we like the doggos around here. Let's say tiny, adorable. Really hard. Okay. Black and white puppy. The puppy is not going to have delicate iridescent plumage. Let's see. With, let's see. Maybe we'll say a red collar. Large expressive eyes. We'll keep that. Not going to go with onyx. We'll see what it does on its own. And maybe we'll do warm natural light, blurred bokeh background that highlights the, let's say, cuteness. I have no idea if this is going to work. We're just winging this here. Whimsical majesty. Let's leave it. Let's see what it gives us. Showcasing the tender beauty of this tiny creature. Let's just try that. Maybe not tiny. Let's say maybe young. Oops. All right, so I'm going to give this a try just as it is. Let's see. Let's leave it. Let's go with. I'm going to leave it smart, but let's go with something more photo-ish. Maybe we'll do something jumping out at you. You can go ahead and throw it in chat. Creative, cinematic. Let's just go ahead and look for like a stock photo kind of look. And let's make this fairly large. Let's see. Let's do that. All right, so I'm going to now on my free account, I'm going to burn through my first one. So it's going to come in here and then it's going to start process it. And it's going to go through and in a second, oh, hey, that's pretty good. So just by editing one of the example ones, you can pretty quickly get something that you want, right? So we've got a pretty cute puppy here. He's got the collar on. You know, we got a clear shot of the face, which is very good. And then if you wanted to use this, you could, you know, create a design from it. You can delete it. You can report it, all that kind of stuff. You can also, I think this looks like you can download it. You can edit this image. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to bring it in. And there you go. So you can start to use this for whatever you want. You can go ahead and, no, thank you. You can apply whatever filters and other things you have available to you. All this stuff is right here. But it's that easy. It's that fast to go ahead and do something. So let's just go back. Give me the tab still. Evidently not. Okay, so we'll go back home. No, that's not what I wanted. Come on. My cursor is locking up and it's not clicking on the things. There we go. Okay. So let's go back home. All right, and we'll go back to this. So it's still got all the stuff here. So if you wanted to change something, so let's keep this exact one going, right? But instead of a stock photo, maybe let's try this as something else. Let's see. We could do pop art. We could do vector. What do we think here? Is anything catching my eye? All right, let's go really dramatic. Like, let's go from, you know, this, which is very much a photo. Let's try it as pop art and not change anything else. Now you'll notice I'm down to 18 credits already. So this is why you're going to want to wait. Don't do this as a follow me kind of a thing until we get to the tips I have for you. Okay, I'm not really feeling a big difference between those two, which is going to happen. And this is why you do want to be careful with your credits. This one sort of has that feel to it a little bit. Oh, but you know why? Because I didn't change it. So this is a case where I told it make pop art, but I hadn't changed this, so I was saying photograph up here. So let me change this to image. Because what happened was, while I said pop art, the prompt said photograph. So it said, okay, you said photograph. That's what we're going to try to do. So let's try that again. Now I'm down to 17 credits. But I want to show you this, and we'll switch over to the paid one because I can burn through credits there faster. And the end of the month is coming, so it'll... Okay, still not very pop art to me. So this kind of highlights the fact that depending on your prompt and what you've selected, you're going to need to do a little testing, which is pretty much what's happening in all of AI right now. This is the pattern. But, you've got something to work with here, but it's not the dramatic change that I was expecting based on the way that this was presented here, right? Should we do one? We'll do one more. Let's just for the heck of it. You know what? Let me show you what the 3D render is. So 3D render, when I first saw this, I was expecting like a 3D image, of whatever that I could spin and do all that stuff with. But let me show you what it really comes out with. So let me say highly professionally, instead of captured, let's try created. Image featuring tiny adorable dog, blah, 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 natural light. Okay, let's try that. I'm doing this real time, so we're live. So you're okay, yeah. So this is more of that feel I was looking for, but you'll notice these are not 3D images. Okay, these are more like think Pixar animation kind of a look and feel, but it is still a flat image, right? And so you can use it in design, you can download it, whatever you want to do. But by clicking on it, you can see them in more detail, so you can check to see if things look okay. Kind of weird, only 4 toes there. So you do want to pay attention to details. Did this one have 4 toes? Yeah, this had 4 toes. Okay, I'm not sure why that one. You want to make sure that the ears and the eyes are in the right place, the right number of paws and toes. You don't want a paw coming out of the head, because all of these things are possible inside of a AI generated image. This one is freaking cute. Toes are not quite right, but the face is very cute. So that's like the basic introduction to this kind of thing. So we'll keep going. But again, by going to the main page, looking at the examples that are there, you can get some ideas, and you can get a template that then you can modify your prompt. And the whole trick with that is to go ahead and let me go back to this. We still have... That's interesting. I'm not sure. Here, we'll do it on the other one. This one. So when you look at the different samples that you get when you come into this, what I recommend is pick one that sort of has the look and feel that you want, right? So do you want it cartoony? Do you want it photographed? Do you want black and white? That kind of thing. Do you want a stylized drawing type thing? So let's say, something like this, right? Sort of fantastic looking kind of thing, right? A fantasy thing. So you can look here and see what that prompt was that generated that, and then adjust it to what you want. Or if you're just looking for ideas, you can try different ones. Like this one, right? So you've got all these different combinations here. So by all means, go ahead and make use of what they've given you here so that you can get the look and feel that you are shooting for. Hey, Tech, how you doing? How many toes do dogs have? So they have generally, 4 plus a dew claw, which wouldn't show up in those kind of images. Unless, like my doggo, they had to have a toe amputated, which is a whole story unto itself. But yeah, generally, dogs are going to have 4 toes. 4 toe beans, which are incredibly cute. Not that I have strong feelings about dogs. All right, so this, like I said, this is a good way to go ahead and get that initial prompt idea and work from there. Another thing that you can do, here we'll switch back. I'm going to keep switching back and forth because I want very clear, right now it's in both worlds. You just have limited credits in the free. So let's say that, you're working on something. So I'm just going to, let's just start something here. So we get into, Yeah, whatever. I don't really care. Fine, fine, fine. Oh, no, that's a phrase. Yeah, I'm forgetting that I'm switching. Okay, here, we'll go into this. This is a dummy one that I created. So another way to get ideas on how to phrase things when you're looking to do something is to come over and take a look at different elements, right? So if you go into your elements and you search for something. So again, we'll look for puppies. Right? So if you want, whoops, back. So if you want, a graphic, if you want a photo, if you, I don't know if it works for videos. I haven't tried that yet. So let's take a look. Let's look at the graphic ones. And even if it's a pro, which on a free account you won't have access to, but you can still get the ideas here. So let's say that like you really like the way this looks. Like this is the look and feel that you are looking for. You click here and you'll get the description. And if you click here, you'll get more. So there's not a big description here, just cute white puppy. But these keywords are ones to consider when you're getting ready, when you're putting together your prompt, right? So you can be, specific, funny. I don't know why this says man and dog. That's not in there. Let's look at another one. Let's try this one. So this is cute watercolor, right? So that would be a good one if you want the watercolor look as opposed to like a pen and ink look. And then you've got these. Let's look at this one. So you can look at these to kind of get a feel for what kind of keywords to use. Is this that same person? That person's just using the same thing over and over again. Let's look at something else. Let's try something that's got a different style to it, like this one. Okay, cute sleeping puppy, right? Show all keywords, poodle, puppy. So they're being more specific about the breed look. So again, this is another way to go about like getting those keywords, getting those ideas that you want to make sure you include in the prompt, because the prompt the AI can only work with what you give it, right? So whatever words you're going to use, whatever descriptions, that's what it's going to work with. And it's other than possible hallucinations, which is a thing in AI where it just makes up stuff. And that's where you get like a puppy with a paw coming out of their head. It's going to just do what you said to do. So you do need to think in detail about the keywords you want to use, reference any kind of colors, if you're looking for a certain color palette, a certain style, right? So photograph as opposed to illustration, chalk drawing as opposed to a watercolor. The more details you can put in there, the better your chances of finding something that's going to work for you. Now, one of the things that's going to come up as you're doing this is like, well, why? Canva's got all these images. Why don't I just use those? And absolutely, you totally can. There's a couple of different reasons why you might find it helpful to kind of step outside what Canva gives you and create something on your own. The first one is if you're just not finding what you want, right? If you're finding things that are close but not quite there, that's a good way to go about it. Or if you have generally, what I tend to do is like with the Canva elements is I'll take different elements and put them together into something that I want. Now, one of the challenges I'll run into with that is as I'm trying to composite it, that's what they call when you take like different elements and put it together. It's hard sometimes to find the different pieces that I'm going to use to put together my image in the same style. So maybe you can get 3 out of the 5 elements that you might want to go to AI to get similar things in the style that you want so that they all look like they belong together. The third reason for it is because sometimes you're going to find that there are pieces in any kind of thing like Canva or whatever, where you get like these resources available to you that people fall in love with and everybody starts to use. And so in order to not immediately have your work scream, this was done in Canva, because people are recognizing the element because it's been used so much, you might want to take that style, right, those keywords, but then create it through AI so that it is a more unique image and it does not scream, hey, this was Canva. Now, keeping in mind all of the things we talked about up front about, copyright and all that, do keep that in mind as you're making these decisions, because that's really important in some cases. In some cases, it's not at all. Alrighty. So let's keep going here. Let me just check my notes here. We kind of did some basic stuff. Okay. Actually, before we go there, I didn't even introduce myself. I'm sorry. I'm really excited about this, as you can tell. So for those of you who are new here, welcome. My name is Kathleen. I'm here as your tech coach. Short version of the story is technology is my day gig. It's also my hobby. So friends, family, neighbors, coworkers tend to come to me when they have questions, when they're looking for advice, when they're looking for help troubleshooting. Not everybody has that. I understand. So hello, that's why I'm here every week. I cover a bunch of different topics, but my focus is all about using the technology that we have in our real life, right? I'm not so much, navel gazing technology here. This is about how to get the most value from the technology we have available to us. And this is an example of some things like, okay, this is new, but it is really accessible because of the way Canva is going about things. Okay, so we're back there. Got that out of the way. All right, so let's go to the next level here, right? So let's talk about how you can get more value out of the credits that you have. Now, this is particularly important for the free account because the free account is 20 credits and that's it. You can't get any more unless you switch to a paid account. Now, understand that this may change over time. They've just released this. They're going to monitor the usage. They're going to listen to the feedback on social media or people who contact them through support. So it's possible that just like you can, if you are on a free account, you can pay to use a particular pro only item. So let me just switch over to that in case you don't know what I'm talking about. So for example, any place that you see the little crown that says pro, you see that like there's an option on the free account that if you really wanted to use this image, you can pay to use this image, right? So you can pay $1 and the price varies. It would not surprise me to see them offer X number of credits that you could purchase, for a month's use or whatever. I'm not saying that they're doing that. I'm saying like, given their models so far to date, I could see them doing that if enough people ask for it. Otherwise, the only way to go ahead and get something like this where you get, 500 credits that renew every month, that's right now just a paid option, or if you're using the education plan. So just to level set for where we're at now, if you're watching this in the future, hello future, I hope things are better. That may have changed. So do keep an eye on things. Go to the description. You can check the links. They will always update those to let us know what is the current state for things. Okay, with all of that said, the way that you can get more mileage out of however many prompts you are allowed to use on your account is to combine your work process here with one of the AI tools that's out there. So I'm talking like ChatGPT, Gemini, I'm flaking on the middle one, whether they're calling it Llama or something, whatever. But whatever tool is out there that maybe, you're already comfortable with or you're curious about trying, this is a good time to do that because you can have one of those tools take your prompt, make it better so that when you do put it into Canva, you're not wasting credits. You get closer, faster to what it is you're looking for. So I'm going to walk through an example of that. But just know that you don't have to pay to use these tools. Now, obviously, if you do pay for them, you do get more options. So ChatGPT, you can use just, fresh out of the box on your own. Let's go here. Nope, that's not the right one. Hit the wrong button that time. Okay, so you can just go to ChatGPT. You don't have to have an account. You can just go ahead and log in and use it. Or you can go ahead and create an account. So literally, you don't even have to log in, right? You can come to that page. And again, links are all in the description. But you can say, I just want to try it. And it has the options up here in the corner to sign up, if you don't already have an account, or log in. But if you just want to use it without being logged in, without any history, without any extra controls, you can totally do that. The other option is Gemini. So Gemini, you need to have an account. You do need to sign in with like Google or something. But once you do that, you can use it for free, or there are paid options. Now, if you are pretty heavy into the Google ecosystem, if you're an Android user, there's a bunch of different ways right now that you can get use of the paid version of Gemini just because you're already paying for something else. So for example, I am using Google Fi, I have a Google Pixel phone, I also have Google Drive. Something in that mix has given me a paid access account. So I can show you that too as we go through. I think I'm logged into that. Let me see. Yes, I am. Okay. So again, we're going to do, I'll show you free and I'll show you the paid, but you do have those different options. All right, so let's start. I'm going to start to do this inside of the paid account because I have credits to burn and I'll get more credits after the first of the month. So again, it looks exactly the same as what you saw in the free account, right? It's even got the same examples. And again, you can come in here and say, I really like this. Let's, use this as my prompt, and you can go ahead and edit this. But instead, let's do something fun. Because it is spooky season here now when I'm doing this. So let me go. I did a little thing so I can copy and paste because you don't really want to watch me type. So again, maybe for the holiday, I wanted to do something a little fun. So I'm going to come here, and this is just my, off the top of my head, not great, not super tailored prompt. And let's see, I'm going to say, let's do an illustration, and we'll pick a different size just for the heck of it. Let's do this size. Okay. So again, I've got some keywords in here. I've got cute. I've got Halloween. I want it to be a ghost. I've got trick-or-treating in here. You know what? I'm going to try this. Let's make sure. I haven't really tested to see like if this type of thing helps, but we'll try it, with an iced coffee in one hand and a pillowcase filled with candy. How about in the other hand? How about that? Do ghosts have hands? Oh, well, we'll see what it does. All right. So you see I'm at 500. I'm going to burn through one now. Again, real time. We're watching it generate. Okay, not too bad. All right, so we've got iced coffee, and so this is always dangerous. You do want to look to see, like, do the words look okay? So here, let's bring this up. I'm impressed it got that right. You see that the words on the candy are gibberish, but in this case, sometimes that's a problem, when, depending, again, what you're looking at. For this, that seems okay. Got a nice little shadow. I don't like this down here. I don't know why it's signed it. That's weird. I would prefer that not to happen. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's look at this one. This is more flat cartoony. No words on this. And again, gibberish on this, but for this particular image, that's not really a problem. Got some nice autumn leaves here. This is pretty good for just random words, basically, that I threw at it. Same thing here. The straw is a little weird. So this is the kind of details. You don't want to just do it and grab it. You want to pay attention to the details because your audience will. So that's a little weird. It's also weird how it's not really holding the bag. So I don't think I would use this one. I'm not also sure what's coming out of this. Is this supposed to be leaves or something? Not sure. Don't like this one. Is this hand? Yeah, see, these hands are okay. These are holding on. We have different numbers of fingers. That's a little strange. So this hand seems to have 5 fingers, although we maybe lost one in a machine shop injury. And this hand only has 4, so that's a little weird. Let's look over here. This one doesn't have a hand. This one is 4 fingers for a cartoon. That's okay. That's pretty standard. I don't know that this picked up on the cute aspect. This feels a little more menacing. Also, this one sort of feels like it's out during the day. That one's night, that one's night, that one's night. So this is just to show you that you don't have to be a prompt genius about this kind of stuff. But the better your prompt, the better the results. So that's why we're going to go down this path of using ChatGPT or Gemini. I'm going to do both so you can go ahead and see those. Let's see. I think that's probably a good place to go now. Alrighty. So I've got this. It's not a great prompt. Let me just take it. I'm going to take it one other level here. So I've got this. And we're going to go back up to the top. Okay, so this was very basic, right? This is just what I wanted. So then I've got this version. I am going to keep this because that does seem to be working. That concept, I don't know if this is helping or not, but it's not hurting. So here I've got the same initial prompt, but I've also thrown some other keywords here, right? So don't really think I need ghost because ghost is already in the description there, but I've got fun. Again, we don't really need Halloween again, so I can probably take that out. Cartoon. friendly monster, horror spooky. So just some kind of generic Halloween stuff. I'm going to take that out. Costume funny, boo, pumpkin bats. Okay, so we've got all of that. Now, since I said someplace here, didn't I just see the word illustration here? Or did I lose it? Illustration. Okay, so since I've said illustration here, right, and I've told it use traditional Halloween colors, I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to say, I don't use one of your styles, use what I told you. And just for giggles, let's change the orientation just because we get to play with all the stuff that way. So let's try this one. All right. And you see now I'm down to 498 and it's going to process again using the additional information I gave it. So we still haven't really tapped into the chat tools. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. So, but you see we got some different options here. This hand, little weird. Not sure what's going on there. I like the shoes. The coffee works. Like got the bats that we asked for. It's got definitely the Halloween colors. Although to be honest, the other one did Halloween colors pretty good too.